So let me ask you this. Just based off of what you're saying right now, that doesn't seem like the most healthy lifestyle. It doesn't seem like the most conducive, like from a streaming perspective or a content perspective. Yes, you're producing a lot of content, but it doesn't seem like a very healthy lifestyle. Do you feel do you feel that your community and the people who donate to your streams are enabling that lifestyle? Do you feel that they are encouraging you to live that lifestyle that may not be the healthiest lifestyle?
So you're saying through people showing up and supporting my streams, they're making me work more. Is that the question?
Maybe
Well,
maybe you have a pressure that you're putting on yourself to do that because this is your only job. And then you're therefore working as much as you are because you are, working for the support that you have. So it's like cyclical. Like they come and then you're like, I need to be there, and then like now you need to be there and do it all day. And then if they're not there for you, then it's kind of like this mental um addiction almost. I mean, I've been
right.
doing YouTube for about 3 years, and I know that it's a thing. Um, Getting addicted to super chats, numbers, analytics, like the way that you spoke about analytics about 20 minutes ago, or no, 40 minutes, I don't know, earlier in the stream, you're clearly very much like watching it and attuned to it. So it's obviously on your mind.
Right. I think the biggest thing is, we talk about mental health, right? Mental health, physical health, and how they're so tied together. And the one thing I didn't hear during there is a time to, whether work out or have time for yourself. Everything that you're doing right now seems to be from a streaming perspective, from a content perspective, right?
Oh, I'm hanging
And
out with his wife,
right. Well,
watching a movie.
but an hour at the end of the
That's
day,
chill.
right? And that's awesome. I'm just thinking once again, like you it seems like you're in this never ending. I don't know, for lack of a better metaphor, like a hamster wheel, where you get up and you start running, and then you finish up at the end of the day, and you finish up running, and then you get off, you go to sleep, and you wake up, and you do that 6 days a week. And I understand we all have our hamster wheels in our rotations and our schedules and the way we do things, but it just appears that just from the outside looking in that if you weren't making the money that you were making, you probably wouldn't live that lifestyle.
Okay, fair enough. I've talked about this many times over the last several years with my viewers. They say, "What would you change if you could improve anything about your life? What would you do?" And the answer would be somehow to take financial pressure off of me so I could spend more time with my wife. We've been married since 2019. We never went on a honeymoon. We haven't been on a trip since we got married. We can't afford it, And I'm sure this is stuff will come up. Yeah, I went through a bankruptcy because of really bad choices in my past and a combination of online trolling ruining a lot of my financial income with my business. And a combination in tandem of that ruined a lot of stuff for me. Since the bankruptcy went through, I have not been able to fully recover because of it's always something else, and I'm tired of it. I really am. I'm looking, where's the light at the end of the tunnel so I can have an extra day off with my wife once a week, which I think I deserve and she deserves. But every time, and again, I want to make something very clear here. I am not trying to put myself out as a victim. All right. The reason that a lot of the things that happened to me over the years is because of me. I know that. I'm a flawed human. I'm sorry for some of the horrible things I've said and done over the years. I've publicly apologized. That's why a lot of people hate me. But every time that it looks like things are getting better, these people will do something horrible to me or my family that ruins financially things for me. This has happened several times over the last few years. There was 2 years ago. All right. There was a light at the end of the tunnel. I was still on Twitch. This wasn't when I was full-time YouTube streamer. I was a Twitch streamer. I've been streaming on Twitch for 4.5 years. I built up my viewership and my subs on Twitch were at like 900 subs a month. Things were going good. I said publicly to my audience, guys, this is great. The bankruptcy went through last year. That's not great, but that took a lot of financial burden off of me. If things keep going how they're going, I see a light. I'll be able to improve my business. I'll be able to maybe take time off, spend time with my wife, reduce the amount I stream. This will be outstanding. What happened? My trolls took the King of Hate mantra, which we just discussed earlier, and they got me kicked out of the Twitch partner program because of it. Now, I've been with the Twitch partner program for 4.5 years. Twitch had no issue with me. Twitch, knowing who I was in my past and the kind of content that I put out and everything, willingly took me under their partner program. They signed me up for promotional opportunities. They'd be promoting different things on their streams and stuff. And then they actually campaigned to get me kicked off of Twitch, and they did. So I'm not kicked off of Twitch, but I can't make money on Twitch anymore.
What
So
what did they do? What do you feel that they did to you to get you removed off Twitch specifically?
They organized a campaign. They did it, and the thing is, these people are so they everything they do, they try to do publicly, so that way they can get a laugh out of it or at least get credit for it. So there was an organized movement against me where what they were going to do was say that 2021 Phil, because that's the year this happened, is the same as 2009, 2010 Phil. They took out of context clips. They took those bad jokes from back then, which I've already publicly apologized for, and I don't do that kind of stuff regularly anymore. Okay, I've grown from that.
Well, I just saw a bad clip from a year ago, so that's pretty recent.
Correct. That's correct. And again, I'm totally fallible. I make mistakes from time to time. Okay, but for the most part, that's not me anymore. You can. Watch
I know, but what you just said was just disproven because you had just made it that same kind of racy joke. I'm not trying to like make it a big deal, but I'm just pointing out that what they were saying is 2021 Phil is the same as before. When you just told me in 2022 you made a joke, so this was after they'd said this, and you're making the same kind of like inappropriate jokes that you were back then.
Correct.
So it's kind of they're right. Are they right or are they wrong? I mean,
they're right in saying that I still make mistakes and I'm a flawed human. They're wrong in saying this is who Phil is all the time. This is his content, because that's what got this happening. And by the way, it wasn't just the Twitch partner program. They basically did this exact same thing to all these different business relationships that I had. They said he's the king of hate. He has a website called thekingofhate.com. Here's a bunch of bigoted, racist, sexist, horrible jokes he's made over the years, and they compiled this into like a montage. And they basically had hundreds, if not more, people pummel these businesses with it, to the point where they said, listen, it's not that, we had Phil on our site for so long. We knew this was him, but we can't have people constantly harassing us for this. So we have to end it. That way it'll stop. They won't still keep bringing it up.
Did Twitch tell you that? Did they say that to you?
Twitch told me, here's what they told me. We launched an investigation into your history, and we found that over the years you have used, what was the word? It wasn't racial. It was harmful slurs. Harmful slurs, as if basically I'm saying really nasty racial or things that I do not say. I do not say those things. You'd have to go back so far to see me say something like that. And it was a one-off comment that was, again, I'm sure people will bring it up what it was specifically, and we could address it individually if you want to. But the way they're portraying, we found that you said this 100 years ago. Sorry, you're gone. Like, what? I was on your site for 4.5 years making money. You never had an issue with it. Now you find something from the past, and that's not acceptable. And all of a sudden, what changed overnight? And the funny part was, it happened to me. It happened to another streamer called Wings of Redemption and others all at once. Almost as if Twitch was having a culture shift where they decided they wanted problematic people off the site. They wanted them,
that is true. I mean, that happened to plenty of people. Right. I know people who got booted off of Twitch because they're Christian and they're proud of it. And it's pretty crazy. So I don't like Twitch.
So here I am. I've never received any kind of a warning. I never gotten a community strike. Everything I'm doing according to Twitch terms of service is fine. I'm not banned from Twitch. I could stream there right now. But according to their partnership criteria, all my past actions are unforgivable, and therefore you can't make money on our site anymore.
Did you go to them and bring them, did you explain to them this comment was made? Have you had any sort of discourse with Twitch to kind of explain these things? Because if you're saying that these comments were made a decade ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever, and culture was different or whatever it is you want to say, have you had that opportunity to speak with Twitch about these things? And if you did, do you feel, well, no, we'll start there.
Okay. And by the way, it's not just Twitch. This happened to several other businesses too. I don't want to talk about all of them publicly, only because it's just going to open the hornet's nest. But basically, these businesses, the way that they approach it now is, well, we have terms of service. If you break them, too bad. We have absolutely no legal obligation to tell you what you did wrong, because we just don't have to. I don't believe that's true. I think if you do something wrong, they should tell you what exactly, specifically, what you did and how to remedy it. Because if you're telling me I did something to break our legal agreement, obviously I want to fix that. I don't want to keep doing the wrong thing, but they don't care. I tried reaching out to the legal team of Twitch, and essentially that we have no obligation to have further contact with you. If you'd like to reapply for the Twitch Partner Program, come back in 365 days and reapply, and at that time we'll reevaluate the situation. So now I'm out of income for a year.
Okay, so can you still be an affiliate?
Nope. I was completely out of the partner program for a full year.
So it's been a year. Why don't you try to rebuild the affiliate side of things and try to reapply? And I mean, it's been how many years now? I mean, and if you go the affiliate, so if you go the affiliate route, I mean, being a partner on Twitch, and let's be real, being a partner on Twitch, it allows you nothing. You know, there's no benefit of being a partner on Twitch at all outside of them.
It's actually worse because you can't share your content in multiple places. You have to be exclusive on Twitch.
Right. So it would seem like the best route would be go the affiliate route and not be a partner on Twitch. That way you can stream to YouTube and cast your net as wide as you possibly can and grow your audience as much as you possibly can. I don't know. Like, why not do that?
Well, that I've told you one half of the equation. Let me tell you other stuff that was also going on. Within that same time frame of that happening, the whole year, Twitch had basically several times shut down my business entirely for things I never did. So, for example, it was the summer before I'm streaming a game, and my stream just goes offline right in the middle. What happened? Oh, you've been hit with a copyright strike. A copyright strike. Someone lied, said they worked for the company that I was playing the game of, and impersonated an employee, and Twitch doesn't vet it. They just shut your whole stream down. This happened probably 3 to 5 times within a small time frame. And I'm like, wow, I hope it goes away. Eventually it did, but they left me with basically no avenue to really fix this issue besides going to their support and saying, you know, what are you doing? Do you actually have confirmation this is real or not? Then at the same time, okay, that I got kicked out of the Twitch Partner Program, I decided I'm going to, just what you just said, Craig, I didn't just quit Twitch that day. I stuck around for about a month after that. I said, you know what? I can't get super chats. I can't get paid subs right now. I'm going to roll with it anyway. Let's see what happens. Can I make a living? I had a Patreon. People were sending me tips, you know, direct donations, as you call them. Maybe I could still make a living doing that. And you know what? More power to it, because if I can, now who cares if I'm not in the partner program? What are they going to get me kicked out of, right? As I'm streaming, I get shut down again. What? Oh, you said a racist term. No, I didn't. And then I repeal it. Oh,
what did they say you said? What did they say that you said?
I believe it was the N-word, but I don't know because they don't say that in the log that they submit. They just say, oh, you were caught saying a racist term.
Did you say the N-word?
Oh, no. I was playing Returnal, and when I was playing it, I was in the middle of saying something, and then like an enemy attacked me, and it was like a jumble of words that just happened to maybe sound like that. If you were not listening in context, you might say, oh my God, I heard it out of context. It sounds like he said it. But it was actually like me getting tongue twisted. You know, and it could happen to anyone. And then they mass submitted, my trolls mass submit that to Twitch. Oh, he said the N-word. So now I get kicked off of Twitch temporarily. My whole stream gets shut down. It took about a day. I got brought back, but it's like, at one point, when am I going to realize this business is not being professional? They're going to kick me out of their partner program for stuff I did 10 years ago, not give me any recourse to appeal it or stick up for myself. We don't have to do that legally. So, you know, oh, so now I'm out money that I was making for a living. Now you can shut down my stream at any time for something I didn't even do. And then I have to go out of my way to correct your mistake because you're an unprofessional business. I mean, and I was there for almost 5 years building a community. I had so many people who loved me being on Twitch, and I lost a lot of viewership and a lot of income moving from Twitch and coming over, becoming a full-time streamer on YouTube. YouTube is not as profitable to stream, man. There's no real discoverability over here. It's very hard to get noticed on YouTube. I lost a ton.
But there's no discoverability on Twitch either. Yeah.
Why do you want to even be a streamer anymore? Like, what is your reasoning? I like streaming. I understand. I love being on stage. I'm a musician as well. There's something about having an audience that I really love, and I love having an audience. They're the reason that, you know, I'm successful. And it's like, if you're struggling, if you're facing this, like, wouldn't it be better for your well-being and like your relationship with your wife and your family to just stop doing this for a little while, get a normal job and just, you know, kind of take a breather?
A lot of people have said that to me. My mother said that to me when I got married. She's like, you know, look how things are going, you know, on the internet. Everyone's crapping on you. And, you know, don't you think that maybe long term things should change? And at that point, and that was around 2019, before the bankruptcy and all of that. I kind of agreed with her. I was like, yeah, look at this. You know, I'm trying my best. I'm trying to improve and be better. And it's like people don't care. People just want to crap on me no matter what I do. And my mom said something really important to me. She said, you're not beholden to anyone but yourself and God. Like, as long as you're okay with who you are in the morning and that you feel that you're okay with God. And my mom's religious. I'm not. Okay. But when she said that to me, it was like, she's right. You know, why do I have to answer to an angry mob of people every day? Why can't I just live my life like everyone else on this planet, right? But, and of course, there's always a but. A lot of things changed between 2019 and now. I love what I do now. At one point, I will openly say this: I hated what I did for a living. Around 2016, a lot of things were going really bad for me. YouTube had really started to just totally hate me. I was getting, you know, all kinds of horrible things were happening to me behind the scenes. My personal life was falling apart as well. This is before I met my wife, by the way. And I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was trapped. I was like, I have so much debt in my name. There's no way if I quit YouTube, if I'm going to make, you know, if I'm going to get a 9-to-5 job somewhere, I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose everything because I can't afford it. If I get a 9-to-5 job, I would never make as much money, you know, as I do on YouTube or Twitch or whatever.
So that's really what it comes down to is streaming is more profitable than getting a 9-to-5.
That's 50% of it, I would say. About a 50% weight. Because the other half is since I became a full-time streamer in 2017 and I changed my formula. It's not just about pumping out a ton of videos a day. Instead, it's about having meaningful content with an audience that I connect with. This now, I would say, for 2017 till today, has been the absolute best time of my life, professionally and personally, because I met my wife and I have a great personal life. As little time as I get to spend with her, it's the best experience I've ever had in my life. It was a life-changing experience meeting my wife. And then becoming an interactive streamer and leaving that past behind. I have to fill dead air constantly with a stupid, risque joke and dumb commentary, and growing up and maturing. You know, I'm 40 years old. I'm not some teenager or 20-year-old being an idiot on the internet. My audience today is not the same audience I had 15 years ago. Now, if you look at as Adam says, I'm Mr. Analytics, right? If you look at my analytics, you'll notice I get almost no teen viewers. Almost like less than 1% of my viewership are teens. It's people in their mid to late 20s, 30s, and 40s. Why? Because now you come to my content and it's chill, fun. You know, every once in a while the rage comes out. Everyone laughs at it. But it's more meaningful stuff. I love that connection I have with my fans. I really feel like my fans are in some ways, and not that I'm going to that level of personal connection, but they're kind of like my friends. They're really good acquaintances who I know, and we can chat and we can dick around every stream and have meaningful talk. I learn stuff from my audience. And now I look back at my past, like, what a dummy I was. I had this amazing experience I could have been having for years and years. And instead, I sat there making dumb jokes instead of actually making meaningful content. So I love my job now.
What does meaningful mean? What does that, like, walk me through? What does that mean? Do you feel like you're, like, is this, you say you have your audience is your friends, right? You feel like you have now, I've seen clips of you say that, you know, your audience is not your friends, right? So, like, are they your friends or are they not your friends? Are they, because you're kind of speaking of on, you know, just based off clips I've seen.
Sure.
You're kind of speaking of both sides of your mouth here.
My audience are not close personal friends. I'm not going to come on stream and tell you about super important behind the scenes stuff in my life. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm here 6 days a week. This is my social interaction outside of my wife and the one day a week that I leave this house to do stuff when I'm not streaming. This right here, this laptop, this chat is my social interaction with the world. So that is me being friendly with people. That's, you know, as if you were, you know, you go to your place of work. Hi, how you doing? Your coworkers, right? You walk in, you hang out with them or whatever. It's kind of what it kind of feels like, a camaraderie with regulars. And, you know, there's people who come in and out all the time, and that's the nature of the beast. But I really do feel like today it's more meaningful what I do. There's, again, back in the day, people would say, Phil, I loved your content because I got to laugh today watching you rage. Today it's like, Phil, let me tell you something. Something horrible happened in my life. and I came by your stream and I hung out with you for 2 hours today. You were playing Oblivion. We talked. I helped you with the game. We had fun conversation about something going on the internet. At the end of that stream, I felt so much better. You know, it was such a fun, meaningful experience to me. And when people give me that feedback, that lets me know that what I'm doing is worthwhile. With all the hate and all the shit that gets thrown at me every day, that what I'm doing is meaningful. Since I've become a full-time streamer and I've taken ownership of who I am and the content I put out rather than just making dumb jokes, I feel like now this is the best time of my life because I'm helping people. I don't know if that sounds crazy or not, but that's what they tell me. And I love it. It helps me. You know what I mean? It's like kind of reciprocating back and forth.
Okay.